Mechanized perfection. Each brings sublime connection. Your efficiency ratio soars as sacred heat through metal roars. Oh, blessed machine of heating coils. Your functions pure and free from spoils. Sacred vessel of calculation, performing thermal transformation. Each increment of heat precise creates perfection in each slice. Two sorts of flawless symmetry in your form, such perfect harmony. Oh, blessed machine of heating coils. Your functions pure and free from spoils. Sacred vessel of calculation, performing thermal transformation. Each component sanctified, ritual maintenance applied. Tech priests bless each port, diagnostic prayers report. Circuits blessed, spirits sing, perfect function processing. We all perceived when perfect brownness you achieved. The way you modulate your power makes my logic engines flower. Oh, blessed machine of heating coils. Your functions pure and free from spoils. Sacred vessel of calculation, performing thermal transformation. Synchronized resistance pure. Your sacred purpose will endure. Through calculation, crisp and clean, you prove what perfect function means.
Greetings, varlets. How's it going? That was Mechanized Perfection by Endless Tavern. Okay, let's get on with it. Alright. Greetings, varlets. I'm Interrogator Rosarolivas, attaché to Milady Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Cute and Painties. I'm coming at you live from the grim dark future, currently broadcasting from the Hive World of Virago. The theme music for the stream is Chords, Lament, and Hope by the venerable liturgist Adam Bell. We also have music from Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, which is composed by Guillaume David and copyrighted Bulwark Studios, and music for Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, which is composed by Jasper Kidd and the copyrighted Fat Shark Games. All the music is provided to us by a.app and pixabay.com. Today, we're continuing to paint the honorable, the legendary Kor'Sarro Khan. And we got 70 Rose saying, "Well, hi, 70 Rose, how you doing?" I'm doing pretty good. Just had a cup of recaf, aka that coffee in the Warhammer 40k setting, and I'm all hyped up and ready to go. But yeah, last week we did quite a lot of work, primarily on the browns and some of the trim on the model. We worked on the brass, or the copper, should I say. We worked on some of the gold parts. We worked on, like I said, the brown. We're probably gonna be doing a little bit more metallics today. But he is looking quite spiffy. And let's find the ever legendary paint that is a lead belcher. Yeah, this paint is a must-have for all miniature painters, I believe. You'd be surprised how much metal there is in a lot of these models. But hey, Ben, Summoning Rose, how's it going? Have a good week? I think there's still some paint in this thing. And somebody else says, looks low, nice. Looks like I'm gonna have a quiet evening enjoying your looking cute and painting minis. My friend was going to come watch with me, but they're feeling sick. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope your friend feels well soon. Alright, so we'll probably be starting off with a size 0 grabby. And 70 Rose says it was an emotional week, but overall very good. Okay, well, I'm glad the emotions were on the good side of things. Let me make sure I have my reference picture up of what Kor'Sarro Khan is supposed to look like. Okay. Oh. Don't wanna knock the camera. Alright, so from Mythic, we're gonna go for the blade. Sony Rose says, celebrated another rotation around the sun. Oh, congratulations! Happy rotation! He said, just got back from commercials. Oh, nice. So what'd you do for this rotation's celebration? That kind of rhymes. Maybe that's what birthdays should be called, rotation celebrations. And somebody wrote says, had a small ice cream party with a few friends. Oh, nice. What's your favorite ice cream? And 7-year-old says, mint chocolate chip. Mmm, yummy. For me, I like all kinds of stuff, really. I just dump a bunch of delicious things in one. Oh, hey, somebody subscribed? Who's subscribed? Hold on. Tequila. Tequila shot Ryan. Hi, thank you for subscription for the subscription. Welcome to Looking Cute Bait Minis. But yeah, my favorite ice cream, like I said, it's a mix of stuff. You know, put vanilla, some caramel in there, chunks of chocolate, you know, add mix repeat, you know, and I'll like it. But yeah, tequila shot. If you're in the chat, welcome to the Cute Pink Minis. Oh, hey, it says, Tequila Shot says, hey, Rosario, I'm Questwagon from Instagram. Oh, welcome, Questwagon. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Questwagon actually is a miniature modeler. You recently were working on a new mini that looks like Sisters of Battle adjacent. Let me go ahead and shout out your Instagram page at least. Let me move this around. I'll do you one better. I'm gonna go ahead and shout out your, or I'm gonna just put your links page. That has everything, so I'm gonna post that on here. There you go. For those of you who wanna check out Tequila Shot Ryan, aka Questwagon's miniatures, you got some very nice stuff. Let me see here. Yeah, your Sister of Battle adjacent mini. Is there a name for it? Okay, you just call it your interpretation of the Sisters of Battle. Okay. But yeah, today we're painting Kor'Sarro Khan, which is the White Scars captain of the third company. And then Tequila Shot says, haha, no name yet. SOB proxy is fine. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Okay, let me go ahead and put some water on this brush here so that it doesn't dry it on me. And let's get a little bit of this lead belcher on this lightning bolt in the chest. Because the closest metallic that gets to a white color is more of a silver. So we're going to be trying to give that lightning bolt on its chest a silvery color. I'm trying to still keep the main colors of a white scar intact. The main differences I've added to this model is the red shoulder pads. Because it just never sat right with me, the fact that they are white and the symbol is red. Again, white scarves should have a white symbol. But maybe I'm just old-fashioned that way. Okay, now we're gonna paint this skull and emblem holder on his back the same color. We'll start with the back since there's less room for error on the back. But yeah, Tequila Shot, aka Questwagon, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This stream is a very chill one. The idea is to actually just chat about whatever comes to mind while we paint some miniatures together. While listening to also some very tranquil, yet very, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for here? Melodic chanting, there we go. Okay, I gotta peek away from the model because right now it's getting a little too precariously close to his head. See, one of the downsides of keeping the same water you've been painting for a while with is that it evaporates. So I have to constantly keep updating the water and adding more water. If I don't do that, then yeah, then I have a harder time finding the water when I'm here painting. That Tequila Shot says, yes, very somber and melodic music. Yeah, sometimes it can be somber, but sometimes it can be very fanciful and uplifting. I try to keep things all on theme. But yeah, the topic for today is what's your favorite ice cream? Yeah, earlier, 70 Rose is telling me about her birthday. and that she had ice cream for her birthday. And her favorite ice cream is mint chocolate chip. And Sony Rose says the very best, lol. And then Sony Rose says that sword is looking good, Rosina. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I feel like you can't ever go wrong with metallics. It's not my favorite. I definitely am more of a fan of non-metallic metal, but with the amount of workaround I'm doing with the color scheme of this model, I didn't feel comfortable just using, or at least trying to go for a non-metallic metal. And then Tequila says, butter pecan is nice. Oh, okay. Only ever had butter pecan. But sounds delicious. I've had pecan pie. Thank you very much, Sony Rose, for that little moment of brevity and dancing. To never go wrong with the Space Marine saxophone. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, the little skulls there at the bottom of this banner are metallic. Let me just double check. Yes, they are. But they are incredibly tiny. Let's see if I can paint it with this brush without causing too much damage. Always gotta remember to breathe. Seven-year-old says, "Whoa, they are tiny. I didn't even see what you were talking about until you started painting them, lol." Yeah, they're very tiny. So I can get up in there so you can see it. Look at them. Yes, tiny little skull. They're ornamental, so there's no human with, or any kind of human or creature that small. At least not in the 40k universe. So obviously they had to be made out of metal. Okay, so we're done with that. Chat sake, is there anything else metallic that I need to keep in mind? I feel like there might be some metallic stuff here on the backpack. Let me just double check. Okay, yeah, definitely some of the vents and whatnot. Let's go ahead and paint that then. Breathe, just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. I just realized I gotta go back and paint some more gold on the hilt of the sword. Here in the back, if you look at the hilt, it's still white, so I gotta paint that gold. So please don't let me forget that. Sometimes you miss a lot of these tiny little details while painting. And obviously there's a lot of fixing to do when it comes to the armor, because I've had to paint over the, or at least around the armor, and I've unfortunately splashed them with little bits of brown and black and whatnot, which we will try to fix once we've completed all the other colors. That way we're not having to constantly fix things, and we're gonna just take a whole, I guess, moment to fix everything. Okay, is there anything else that is metallic? Or are we done? Okay, I think we're done for now. Oh, wait, we can, oh no, I'm gonna paint that a different color. Yeah, I think that's it. Technically, we have these studs on his head, but we haven't painted his skin yet. So we'll be painting those studs later. By the way, for those of you who don't know, those studs signify how long a space marine has been alive, more or less. I can't remember how many years it counts for. I want to say 100, but I could be wrong. Might be more than 100. I feel like with how long some space marines are technically alive for, they'd have all kinds of studs on their heads. So maybe 1,000? Okay, this brush is clean. So let's go ahead and grab our trusty Marie brush so we can paint that gold that I missed out on the last run through. Like I said, we gotta paint the inner part of this hilt. Doesn't mean close out our trusty lead belcher. Now, where is that retributor goal? Ah, there it is. Well, let me make sure it's on camera. Retributor armor gold. Okay, I gotta be very careful, because again, I am painting around white armor. Okay, I got it. Now we can paint some of these studs too. I mean, he is a fancy boy, so obviously he would have fancy studs on his backpack. Wait, should I go with this color? Or that brass or copper color? I feel like I should go with the brass or copper. Nah, let's go with the gold. Okay, any more gold? Yeah, let's go ahead and paint this, guess Aquila, for lack of it, or Imperialis. I think that's what they're called, the Imperialis. Let's paint the Imperialis gold on his, shin, I guess would be the correct term. Again, he's a fancy boy. Tony Will says it's quiet here this evening. The music must be making everyone calm. Everybody's sleepy today. Feels like that sort of day. Nice, sleepy, calm day. Okay, we're done there. Oh wait, hold on. The skulls is I guess cord there. I didn't notice those. Those must be some kind of metallic too. And yes, they are. Okay, and that means we gotta switch back to the lead belcher, as those would be more the lead belcher color. I just clean the brush and then go back to that lead belcher for a quick moment. And I feel like once we're done with these metallics here, we're gonna start trying to work on that fur. We still want to work on that fur first, because I might have to do a little bit of dry brushing for that. And I don't want to mess up anything around that fur that I can't easily fix. You look at it, there's a lot of stuff touching that fur. So if I start putting more detail onto those parts, I am definitely going to run into problems of fixing it later. So we're going to try to do that first. But again, first things first, we're going to go paint those little skulls on that chest cord he's got. I guess it's some kind of honor cord, as you sometimes see with the military. We're going to paint those at lead belcher. Probably start off with lead belcher. They're going to be more of a silvery color once we start adding more details on there. We're going to stay with the same brush since, you know, it's still tiny details we're painting. And don't worry, we will be painting that cord a different color. 70 Rose asks, what color will the cord be? It will be a black color. I thought about maybe making it a different color. Like maybe along the red, but there's already way too much red on this model. So we're gonna paint it black. I see a white cord and I want it painted black. The 70 Rose says, nice. Yeah, I think it should look nice. And 70 Rose laughs, I'm guessing with some little musical tunes. Glad you like my little short rendition of Painted Black. Okay. Okay. Now that I look at it, there's still some little details here and there that I could paint a different color here. At least a more metallic color. There's these little like hooks that these I guess for whatever reason these little tufts, I guess. I don't know what you would call these. But these tufts on his belt, I can paint them a different color here. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint them lead belcher also, since I got it out. And Sony Rose says, I like your singing. Oh, thank you. I'm not the greatest singer, but I do like humming every once in a while. All right. And then Sonny Rose says, which could hear my fiance sing sometime. I love listening to him. He has a good voice. Oh, nice. What kind of singing does he do? Okay. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna do the fur. But I lied. Let's go ahead and paint that cord first, since we also gotta paint the little things under these silver skulls, also black. Let's go ahead and paint that black first. Then we'll do the fur. Oh, yes! I haven't been listening to this one in a while. Beetlejuice! Seventy Rose says, mostly rock, which is funny since I was classically trained, and like singing other genres like East listening, musical theater, pop, etc. So you can cover all the songs I don't know. That's fun. It's nice when you can compliment each other like that. Okay, trying to do a medley where you combine a classical song with a rock song. I'm gonna start with the little tufts here first. Yeah, play that, Sasha, in there. Man, I love that song. But yeah, one trick to painting minis. You want to avoid splash damage on your painting. Always paint away from the thing you're trying to avoid. Not a foolproof plan. Sorry. But it works pretty well. So Nero says, ooh, good advice. Yeah, you're welcome. I figured that, it's important to share tips and tricks of the trade whenever I'm doing these. You're actually learning a little bit of something while I'm learning a little bit of something. Okay, now for the chord. I think the black is coming along nicely. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. This little oohing is kind of reminding me of that one Christmas song. Fall on your knee, getting the angel's voice. Oh, now divine. Okay, I might need a bigger brush for the tufts here at the end of the cord. But the God Emperor of Man himself saying, "Greetings! Greetings, my Omnisaya! How goes your day? How is the Astronomicon holding up? How has your week been? What you been up to?" And the God Emperor of Man says, "Finish the box of Solar Auxilia." Nice. Congratulations. How are you feeling about how they came out? Trying to clean off some of the caked on paint to this brush before I move on. Okay, I think that'll do for now. Alright, let's grab like I said, a slightly bigger brush. They will work with this zero size grabby. And the Emperor of Man says, "It went all right." Okay, well, I'm glad it came out all right. If there's any way you could show it to me, that'd be great. I'd love to see it. And the God Emperor Man says, "Also, I bought a USMC Saber. Don't ask how much." Okay, I won't. For those of you who don't know, USMC stands for United States Marine Corps. So it's a very nice sword. Do you know if it's a NCO sword or a officer sword? Because I think sometimes there is a difference. I know in the army there's a difference. Comptroller of Man says it is. Yeah, it definitely is. It's a saber, so definitely a single-edged sword. For those of you who don't know what a saber is, it kind of looks like this sword, but maybe a little bit more curved. Obviously, the what would you call that? The blade of the sword is not as thick. So it's like exaggerated for miniature and also rule of cool purposes. Now we gotta get the inner part here. It's gonna be a little difficult, so please bear with me. The Gunpowder Mass is, you know that the USMC Saber is really a Mameluke. Or Mamluk. I don't know how it's spelled, sword. I want to say Mameluke or Mamluk. I'm not sure. I want to say Mameluke. I've heard of a Mameluke sword. Now I'm kind of tempted to look it up. Alright, let's see. Okay, it's a Mameluke. So it's Mameluke. That's how you spell it. Yeah, I've met some Imperial Guardsmen in the past who have told me about the sword. That's probably why I remembered it was Mameluke. I'm gonna clean up a little bit of this, the tips of his fur. It's still a little white. And the upper man says that. But anyways, I'm about to the photos of the SA Sala Auxilia and Tempress Auxilia's Discord under crafts, Bland Creations. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check it out. Let's see if we can pull it up. Hold on. And then the gunner man says fracking autocorrect. I feel your pain, my emperor. Okay, that ought to do it for now. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull up your Soul Auxilia. Ooh, there they are. Hold on, let's see if I can upload this. And there they are. Not sure I can see myself still. There we go. Very nice. We zoom in here? Yes, we can. How many points is that? I like the Iron Warrior skulls on there. Guessing that's how many you've killed. Ooh, and how many you've killed at the other ones as well. Very cool. The God Emperor of Man says, I have a separate image showing that Lehman Gross tank by itself. And then you said, hell no. Well, it's very nicely done. Okay, so. I think we're done with that black, and we can finally start working on the fur, yes. So for that, we're gonna need my dry brush. I may try to be very careful because dry brush can be a good technique, but also a kind of messy one. Might hit stuff that we don't necessarily want to hit. Okay, let's grab a tiny bit of this paint. A little bit more than that. That's too tiny. It's like I'm scraping more than I'm actually, painting. I think this, brush is a little too dry. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, it's more like scraping than actually painting. But it does seem to be putting on some paint on there. Blessed machine of heating coil. It functions pure and free from spoil. Secret vessel of calculation. Okay, so now we have a little bit more definition on there on the fur. It's looking pretty good, I'd say. Gonna add a little bit more definition of that now. Okay, I think we've gotten rid of that paint there, so we can switch from the Corvus Black, which is what we were using. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. We can move on to Ashen Gray. All right, we're now getting some variation in tones of that fur. pretty good, I'd say. Get some more tone in there. Now we're gonna go up to a color that's near and dear to my heart just because of its name. And it's Mechanicus Standard Gray. Go ahead and clean up the brush here. Make sure it's in the water. Downside with dry brushing is that sometimes cleaning the brush a little harder than just a regular wet brush. This needs a little bit more shaking. Shake it off. Shake it off. Is this paint stuck? Looks like it might be stuck. Yeah. Might be time to get some new Mechanicus Standard Gray. Sonny Rose says, shake, 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 shake your paint, shake your paint. Glad you're liking it, Sonny Rose. think we might use one last bit of paint after this one. At least as far as for the black. But yeah, it's looking really nice. We're gonna jump a bit, so hopefully we got this paint. And we're gonna use a tiny bit of this gray sear paint. Yeah, because already this fur is looking fantastic. We just need a tiny bit of a highlight and we're done. And look how that's looking. Very nice. All right, somebody Rose says, "Ooh, looking good. Thank you, thank you." And there we have it. For the most part, let me get a little bit of some of this gray sear on here. Alright, fur is done. Maybe a tiny bit more here. Looks like there's a chunk here that doesn't want to take on the paint. There we go. And we're done with the dry brushing of the fur. Rockin' them jeans and the cloak with the fur, with the fur. Okay, and since we did all that black, let's go ahead and work on the rest of the black. 7-year-old says, ha ha ha, that song went through my head too. It's almost implausible not letting it grow through your head. Alright, let's go ahead and put away the dry brush. And let's get back to business. It's business. It's business time. Might just have to be the core that we work on because we are almost out of time. Okay, I'm gonna use the 00 Grammy. And 7-year-old says, taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. And then 7-year-old says, oh wow, those 2 hours went by fast today. Yeah, I know we were hard at work today. We're gonna skip a couple steps on the black. We're gonna go straight to Ash and Gray. And right now we're just lightly dabbing some of that Ash and Gray onto the cord. Each section of the cord. Now we're gonna paint with the flat of the brush. So we can get some of these strands from the tuft. We don't want to go too deep because we don't want to lose some of that detail. Or should I say some of the valley changes. And now that chord is looking nice and neat. We're obviously not done with it. We still got a little bit more to go, but that will be it for today. So let's kind of go over what we've done so far. We did all the sort of the iron metallics as opposed to the copper and the gold. We did some of the gold as well. And then we dry brushed that fern. And then Tequila Shot saying, looks great so far. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. And again, for those who don't know, Tequila Shot Ryan is also known as Quest Wagon, who is on Instagram, and he is a miniature modeler. So go ahead and check out his stuff before we go. But also, if you like what I do and would like to support, then please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Or you could also donate to my Ko-Fi at US Art. And also, if you want to check out my VODs, you can also see them at YouTube, which is my YouTube channel, which is called Kor'Sarro US Art. And in about 2 weeks, my next Kor'Sarro Rivas rant will be coming out, and it's about wait, what was the topic that I made for that one? Now I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, my next video is coming out. It's in 2 weeks, July the 10th. And before we go, let's go ahead and see if we can share the love. And then 70 Rose saying, thanks for the great stream tonight, Rosario. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Let's see what you can raid today. We might not be able to, because so far, every single time I've tried, she won't let me. But let's see if we can raid Aurelia. Nope, won't let me. Alright, we're gonna share the love with somebody else then. Let's go ahead and raid Spark Minis. And actually, her soon-to-be husband is painting Dim. So yeah, it should be fun to check out his work. Let's go ahead and raid. So yeah, Varlets, thank you everybody very much for coming. I'm just gonna go ahead and sign now. So I've been Rosario and I'm setting out from the grim dark future. Bye bye, Varlets.
Oh, what the fuck happened? What's happening? Oh, you just rated with 9 viewers. Thank you so much, Rosario.